Hello, my name is Terence Chatmon. I'm the CEO and president for Victoria's Family. We are a global ministry that work with parents around the world. We work through what we call master family champions. These are trainers and coaches that provide valuable training workshops, transformational resources, and our one-day workshops for parents. And we train and instruct them how to design a written spiritual plan to be intentional in prioritizing those things of faith. And I am so happy to be with you today and talking with you and sharing this message of encouragement. And I look forward to our session on September 12th. Where I'll be talking to quite a bit of friends from the land of India. Um, it's quite interesting that as Victoria's Family has been in the marketplace for around 12 years, our number one country, in fact, for our resources and materials is India. And so we hope to visit you soon. We hope to connect. And I want to deal with an issue that we're all dealing with today, this pandemic called COVID-19. It's wreaking havoc on all of us from a professional as well as a personal level. In fact, I believe one of the greatest challenges that we'll face in 2020 will not only be the challenges that we face in the marketplace, but it will also be the challenge of how do we prioritize and reprioritize our home front. As I was running major companies like Johnson and Johnson, Citibank, and Coca-Cola, the one challenge that I always had as a business professional is how do I balance work and home? Even when I owned my own business, it was a challenge because here I am trying to build a business that I can be proud of, that I can serve many of people with my services and products. I realized that the home front was a priority that I needed to emphasize. And so the greatest challenge I believe we're going to face in the marketplace is not the challenge of financial issues and possible ruin and challenges of our business. It's going to be the challenge in terms of how do we reprioritize what is truly what I call non-negotiable, what is truly important in all of our lives, the family. And so when I think about the family all around the world is in crisis. I've visited now over 39 countries, and I hear the cries of parents and I hear the cries of children desiring a better family, desiring a healthier family, desiring a family that cares for them and balances work and home, and they're just trying to figure it out. And so I'm here to hopefully on the September 12th to maybe share with you a few things that could help and hopefully fill some of the gaps that you're experiencing in this area. And for those who are seeking wisdom in this area, I hope that I can help you navigate the changing world that's existing today. You know, a few decades ago, we were not challenged with the type of online platform medias and different ways that our children are being challenged today. And so we have to be very intentional in raising our kids in the faith. And some of you may be seeking faith in your own right and figuring out what is that? What does that look like in my life? How do I blend faith and home? Well, you don't take off uh, your faith hat when you get to the office. It carries forth. For example, who in business would not like to have a business of integrity? Who in business would not like to have a business of honesty, of character, good character? Who in business would be challenged with the fact that they're to build their business, but yet leave their family isolated, almost quarantined? One of the crises that's being revealed as a result of us being quarantined is now we're spending more time at home. And as a result of that, we're reconnecting not only with our spouse, but we're reconnecting with our children, probably for the first time in a long time. And it's bringing forth fresh challenges. Many people are going through it with some depression. Some are going through just being reacquainted because they've been on the road so much. I mean, if you're anything like me, last year I traveled quite a bit. I was probably in the top 10% of all Delta travelers. And when I think of Delta Airline and how big that is, for me to spend so much airtime that I was in the top 10% of travelers with Delta Airlines, I really had to look at that and say, was that needed? Did I need to be in the air that much? And how much did I leave the family and be absent, not available? In fact, one of our first principles is to be available to your spouse and to be available to your children. Our second and overwhelming principle is how do we love, but also how do we love well? If we can build a foundation of love in our family, our kids will thrive. They'll thrive under any condition. And fathers in particular, I want to look at you and I want to say something to you that I hope you hear and I hope that you receive in a positive way. Dads, there's never a time in a child's life that they don't crave your love as a parent, as a father. The mother's love they crave, but they get it. They somehow innately understand it. But the dad's love they crave, they desire it. Any studies we ever look at, the one thing that they go back and they research is the relationship between the child and the father. And so, dads, I want to encourage you as you're out building your dream, your business in the marketplace. I want you to know that you are vital, you're important in the home. What you do and how you do it makes a difference. And so I'm looking forward to talking to you and sharing more principles. I'm going to be talking about not only family issues, but I'm going to be addressing how to cope in crisis. You see, I've lived through three major crises in my career. The first crisis you may not be familiar with, but most of you probably will be. It was what we call the Tylenol incident crisis. There was tainted Tylenol capsules that actually they were tainted with cyanide poisoning. And in 1982, Johnson and Johnson, the parent company, we lost 94% of our market share within 24 hours. How did we recoup? How did we retool? How did we rebuild is a crisis that I'm going to share with you and steps that we took to rebuild our organization. The second crisis that I was a part of happened in the 1980s. It was the greatest financial crisis that this nation had ever seen. And then in 1990, I joined Citibank and I led Citibank Florida out of that crisis. I'll talk to you and share with you what we did in Citibank Florida to lead us out of one of the greatest financial crises that this nation has ever seen all around the world. And the third crisis was one at the Coca-Cola Company. At the Coca-Cola Company, you may remember when we launched New Coca-Cola. New Coca-Cola, we had done all the research, it had told us all the right answers. But yet, when we launched that brand, it devastated, it challenged our customers, our existing customers. And within weeks, our customers had protested against this new soda called New Coca-Cola. And so we quickly analyzed that, responded, and brought back what we call Classic Cola. We rebranded, retooled, and reintroduced the Coca-Cola brand, and the rest is history. So I want to talk to you about those three major crises and the lessons that I learned as an executive in those companies during those crises. But not only that, I also want to talk to you about the family and the family crises that I faced and how I dealt with that. And these are lessons that I've learned that I like to share with you. So I look forward to talking to you and sharing with you and exploring your heart on September 12th as we talk about the crises, the greatest challenge of today's crises for the business leader. Have a great day, and I'll be talking with you soon. Again, my name is Terence Chatmon. I'm the founder and CEO for Victorious Family. And you can find us at victoriousfamily.org. Have a good day.